Welcome, welcome one and all. I love science, I may not be a witch, but here I am, I'm the science witch, and thank God it's winter break. I'm just gonna say it, I'm so happy it's winter break. I have homework to do, but I've got a whole week and a half with no school. Just got that out of the way. I want to talk today in my controversy / opinion videos. I really need to find a better name for this category thing. But right now I don't have one. But I want to talk about self-inserts today. A self-insert is, it's basically putting yourself into the fandom. Into the TV show, into the books, into the things, AU or not AU. It's just you're putting yourself into the basis of the basic media form of the fandom, I guess. For example, you may have heard me in my last Dr. Master videos refer to the Doctor and the Master as my space dads. Now, the reasoning behind that is because in 7th grade, I had created a self-insert where the Doctor and the Master were my parents. And there's this whole huge backstory behind it, and I know it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because they're both male, at least until Missy came along. But this one is with the 10th Doctor and Johnson's Master. They were my dads. I had been so involved on that self-insert that it sort of became part of my life. I was Tabitha, obviously, that was my name, and I was the daughter of the Master, and I was but not really biologically, or I was created by the Master as basically a weapon for like I was practically a prototype for being able to create Time Lords using the DNA of others. So, the Doctor and, the Master had taken the Doctor's DNA and his own DNA and was able to create me after 36 tries that failed. And that's the basis of it, or how my character came to be, but it's what I would want if I was in their universe, or the story I have if I was in their universe. It's sort of like an AU of yourself. As much as I love creating OCs, self-inserts are my primary go-to when it comes to fandoms. I mean, I have self-inserts in Doctor Who, Sherlock, Steven Universe, Pokemon, which means kind of everyone does if you want to be a trainer. Ninjago, Masters of Spinjitzu. There's a lot more to it than that, but those are all I can think of right now. But I have created my own persona to put into these fandoms or into these stories. And it's something that it helps me sort of look past the problems in my life. I know I have to face reality and everything, and I do, but this is just sort of a thing for me to feel less lonely when I do feel lonely, or to just to kind of make myself into a fictional character. I don't know if anyone has seen this post on Tumblr, but it has to do with saying how I don't want my fictional characters to be real. I wish I was fictional so I can be in their world, their extraordinary world. I wouldn't want them to be a part of this mundane, boring one. And that sums it up, basically. That's what a self-insert is. Making yourself into a fictional character and putting yourself in their world. The main thing about this that bothers me, I guess, is the reactions from the fandoms. I've heard of a lot of cases where fandoms are very rude, I guess, to people who create self-inserts. It's like they're generally not accepted within fandoms. From stories I've heard, things that I've seen, they're not accepted, and people have to constantly be reminded that having a self-insert is okay. And that shouldn't have to be the case. People shouldn't have to be reminded that it's okay, because it shouldn't be an issue to begin with. People have or create different things for different reasons. There's always a reasoning behind it. Like I was saying, for me, it's to get my mind off and temporarily escape from the problems in my life now. For example, my family, my school, and just everything. And just my own thoughts. I just start over. Everything's fresh, and I could change it to be how I want it to be. I get away from everything that's been happening to me. And it's really helped me a lot. And some people might do it for the same reason. Some people might do it because they don't like themselves, but because they don't like themselves and they wish they were different because of how it may not even be personal problems. It may just be trying to escape the problems of this world. The racism, the homophobia, the even more racism, the sexism. It's trying to escape all that, so you put yourself in a world where none of that has to exist because you don't let it exist. I feel like a lot more people do it than they think. People may not go into as much detail as someone like me or others would do with their self-inserts, but they still have them. It may be for like a split second or for like a day, what they would feel like if they were in that world. I don't even know what to compare it to. I don't know why this came in my head, but it's like putting ice cubes in a glass. Or chocolate milk. I'm just gonna use chocolate milk because I love chocolate milk. But in a way, it's sort of like chocolate milk. You take regular milk, regular, boring milk. I mean, milk is good, but regular, boring, old, white, or skim, or 1%, 2% milk, and you add your chocolate to it. Your own chocolate, you get it in the glass, you fill it up to however full you want it to be, however big of a glass you want it to be. You could have a glass this big, you could have a glass this big, you have a glass this big but this wide. Like, it doesn't matter. Your glass is your glass. It's what you have. And it's the amount of chocolate you want to use. It's the content you want to use. You can put it into your milk, you stir it up, and you make a completely new beverage. A new world based off of one, because you took one world, one item, and made it better and changed it and made it better with something else. That was a really weird analogy, but I hope it worked in explaining a little bit. I mean, it made some sense to me, but may not have made sense to anyone else, because that tends to happen a lot. A lot more than I like to admit. The reactions in the fandoms and the acceptance rates in the fandoms for self-inserts is surprisingly low. It's frustrating to someone like me because I write things or I draw things that I really like, but I can't post it because I'm afraid of people telling me, oh, it's just, of course you made a self-insert, and getting borderline bullied for it. For something that makes me feel happy, and that happens to people all the time with things outside of fandoms and stuff, but it's not something we can help on our own. It's like these kinds of things, like bullying and stuff, happen because of what someone loves or who someone loves, happens all the time. But one person can make a difference, but it can't stop it. So collectively, as fandoms, as communities, we need to accept it. I know I've talked about acceptance in another video, but that's what everything comes down to. Accepting one another. Because you don't know what kind of effects these things have on people. Like, my self-insert series with Doctor Who, I stopped it. I stopped it a while ago because not only did I slightly lose interest in Doctor Who, but because I was laughed at by a friend of mine who I told my self-insert to, and they're just like, or like I explained the AU to them, and they're like, oh, what's the character? And I'm like, well, it's me, and they laughed. It was really upsetting, so I stopped it. And that's something that's something I also blame for my decrease in interest in Doctor Who. It sucks, but it happened. But now I'm back into it. I'm rewriting it, I'm changing things, and I'm happy with it. And I may just be able to post something. But no matter what people say, I'm gonna keep making my self-inserts. And I'm going to post my fan art, and I'm going to love what I do. Even if I don't like the artwork, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to like it more, and I love seeing other people's self-inserts because it validates everything, and I hope it's the same with anyone else who makes self-inserts. But regardless, I guess you can say the theme or the lesson of this was there's nothing wrong with putting yourself in a fictional universe. It does not change who you are. Or, no, that doesn't make sense because you are literally changing who you are. It means something different to everyone. And some people may be afraid to do it or admit it, and some people may be really outward with it, and that's great. But everyone should be at a point where they at least feel comfortable with it. Fan art is fan art, no matter what type of characters are used, if they're ones of yourself or ones of OCs. Your OC could be based off someone else. Why is that any different? It's not narcissistic. It's not problematic. It's not childish. It's fun. It's fun, it's entertaining, and it's something I love and a lot of other people love to do. There's nothing wrong with it at all whatsoever. Anyway, I think that's it for today. I'm not really sure what else to say about this. Knowing me, I'm probably gonna think of stuff to talk about after this video is uploaded and edited, and that would suck, but it happens. So I'm gonna leave it here, and thank you guys so much for taking your time to watch this video. If you enjoyed what you saw, take a stab at that like button to let me know, and I hope to see each and every one of you sometime in the very near future. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Bye! And my foot fell asleep. This is wonderful. Ow.